And there he is, the one and only Steve Summers.
Oh, wow, that was interesting. Awesome.
What's going on, man?
Like
How you
robot.
been?
How you doing?
Robot. Good.
Well, it was just weird. It was just weird. It was like, wait a second, you'll be able to hear the station, and then you came in. It was just kind of interesting.
So I got a funny story to tell you first off to kick this thing off. So
okay. Hey, wait. First of all, is this being recorded now? Is this live?
Yeah.
You tape it?
No, we're recording.
Okay, good. Now this is part of it.
This is part of it. Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
I'll make sure I laugh to your jokes then.
Yeah. Make me feel a little important, please.
Yeah, you got it.
So rewind in time, back in the day, Leather Boys comes out. I'm a 19-year-old kid, blown away, completely in love with the album. And I start this new job as a telemarketer. And
I've done that many of times.
So a lot of, they're like, you don't have to use your real name, and, you can use a name just to be on the phone. And my real name is Bay Ragney. So I'm like, it's a pretty unique name. So people are going to, if I'm calling people in this area, they might know me. So I'm like, all right, I got to change my name. So the first name that comes to mind is Steve Summers. So for 6 months, Steve Summers was selling circus tickets for the Police Athletic League in the Philadelphia area. So there you go.
Really? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I like that one. Huh. Very nice.
Yeah,
Very
so
nice.
you inspired a telemarketer, so there you go.
That's awesome. That's a little smoother than, D. Schneider.
Yeah.
A little.
Definitely.
I love Twisted Sister, so don't take it wrong, D.
Yeah. But it flowed. It flowed out, and I made good money there, so it was good. It was a win-win situation.
Right on. If I could tell you how many telemarketing jobs I had, oh my God! But we don't need to get into that. Good Lord. And I wasn't selling circus tickets.
Yeah, I'm sure. You were probably selling better things than circus tickets.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah. So can you believe? I mean, it truly has been like 30 years since that amazing album came out. I mean, do you kind of like scratch your head and just be like, "Holy shit, where did the time go?"
You know what? I'm not a big head scratcher, and I've been doing it so long. But let's just say, never stop doing it. I'm a very, I don't know. That sounds kind of stupid. Like, I'm a very youthful guy, I don't do drugs or anything like that. I exercise, and my wife is 20 years younger than me, and blah, blah, blah. So it kind of seems like, like when we played the Whiskey, a couple weeks ago, I swear to God, it could have been like a week before that we did like our first, whiskey show, in '88 or something like that. It's really strange. I swear to God, it's really strange. I mean, I could probably get on, be in Brazil right now and walk into the club or theater that we played, 13 years ago and feel like it was just yesterday. I don't know if that means I'm very youthful or I have a good memory or this or that, whatever, but it doesn't. There are a couple, a member here, even one or two members of mine that go like, "Can you believe?" Sometimes, and I go like, "Yeah, I do." Yeah, I knew we'd be doing it. And so for me, that's just my honest answer. For me, maybe there was a time in there years ago when things were a little slow or something, and I'd look back and go, God damn, that was like 18 years ago. But not in a way of like, where did the time go? Just it's just years and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I'm just like I said, a youthful guy, and I'm a day by day guy, and but I mean, sure, if you put it down on paper, sometimes when I tell people or people that I don't know or people that don't know who I am, maybe at some of my DJ gigs or something when they're like 20 years old and I'm whatever age I am, and I'm all, yeah, we had a record come out. It came out in '89 on MCA. Like, what? '89. But no, it's pretty. It's pretty awesome. But then again, when I put together Pretty Boy Floyd, I probably said to myself, I'm going to do this till at the very end. So,
Right.
we are far from the end.
It
that's,
kind of must sound.
that's not, that's not me doing my Tony Robbins or anything. It's just the way I think,
It kind of almost sounds like, like 30 years, all right, 30 years has come and gone, but it's kind of like you've blinked and like all the ups and downs of the last 30 years are like, it's over and done with. And like you've picked up, like Other Boys happened, and now you guys like blinked and then it's 30 years later and now you've picked up with this new album, Public Enemies.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in between. Of course, you got your EPs and your re-recorded demos and your this or that, whatever. But there's stories to all that. Sure, I could look at a few different lineups and a few different this and put into perspective what was going on at that time. Like, oh yeah, sure, we took that 7-week tour because it was a drunken debauchery of women and this and that, whatever. But and all that stuff. But now is a different time. Yes, now is a different time.
Right.
It's maybe, it's the same thing with maybe some businesses or some sports teams. Like, wow, you look at, I'm just making a joke. Like, you look at my LA Rams and, 12, 15 years ago, they were horrible. Now they're better. Right. This or that, whatever, but not that the same players were on this team. But
and
but
they were in
St.
Louis at the time.
Yeah. And it's just that me, now that me and Chris are back together, and things take time to, I don't want to say mature, but, to be on the same page.
Right.
And even though we've been back for a while, it took a while to get, back on the same page, which is only natural.
Sure.
A lot of people could, whether it's relationships or bands or businesses, they could get back, the next day after they got into a huge something to go, okay, let's do this. But they're really not doing it. They're just doing it to say it. But we came a long way to go like, let's, what are we doing? Let's do this. Let's do, what we do best.
Right.
And we do best, glam rock. We do best, catchy songs. We do best sleaze. We do best this. We do best that. And the great thing is that, for us, not that, maybe some of the critics or the this or that or whatever will, I mean, the critics have been great, so that's what's, I don't want to say strange, but
right.
We've gotten so many great responses with the stuff. I mean, we really haven't really got any bad stuff. I mean, maybe it's because there hasn't, I don't know, been a record like this in a long time. I mean,
right.
I can name 5 to 10 of the bands that were bigger than us at that time, and if you look at them, not to say looks or anything, you look at them and you go, oh, wow, they changed. And then maybe if you listen to them, you can go like, and that's not ragging on them or anything, like, okay, their better stuff was actually, in 89 and 92. It is what it is.
Right.
But we feel that we captured what would have been our second record, if,
right.
The whole, if the whole music scene didn't change or the whole just, whatever, it would have been our second record. So,
you were saying how like you and Chris, you guys got back together and decided, like we're going to do what we do best. I mean, did you guys? I mean, because you guys have had an up and down relationship over the years, but did you guys like just sit down and just talk and like, look, man, let's just freaking do this. Like, was it like a real come to grips with reality? Like, we're good together. We make great music together. Like, let's freaking do this.
Yeah, I mean, some of the getting back together part was. I mean, we knew it was right. We knew people wanted to see, at least me and him together.
Sure.
We knew that, and shows were offered to us. I'm not sitting here going like, oh my God, that show was offered and we made $1 million or something. But
right.
Whether it was the Cat House show or things that we were like, dude, they offered us this, and why don't we do that for a starter? And then once we started that and we saw how people reacted again to what we do, and, we went into the studio and stuff like that. Yeah, we just knew that do what we do best. And we know that people love that stuff, and they, no one really does it. And, unless, it's really just a few bands, overseas or something that are,
right.
trying to capture, the stuff of the many of years ago, even though, it's been done a million times over, but they're, trying to capture the, the Skid Row, Motley Crue, this, that, something, and, but, yeah, I mean, we said, let's just do what we do best. It was really just, let's do where we left off. And
right.
After the first record, we were planning on putting out, a better record, of course.
Right.
I mean, even Bon Jovi, his, even though his first record was great, I love Bon Jovi, but, it was the third one that, like, broke him into mega stardom. So, things take time, and we just said, let's get back to what we do great,
I saw you guys. You guys came out this way. It was just over a year ago. You guys played Delaware with LA Guns, and I was there. And I was honestly,
the Halloween show thing.
Yes, at that firehouse.
the Halloween show. Did you see the Halloween stuff?
but actually, like, I was kind of surprised because the crowd was into it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they were singing along. I was like, wow, like, okay, like, people remember. There's still fans out here in this area that remember Boy Floyd. I was very proud of this area.
So now you're saying you were surprised.
I was. I honestly was.
Yeah. No, we have, the thing is that, I mean, smart people know that, the first record, sure, it didn't sell millions of records, but it definitely got the core, people around the world, loving it just as much as, say, like a Too Fast for Love or the best Poison record or the best of this record, or the best,
right.
Just, whether they spread it around or told a friend or this or that, whatever. Yeah, I mean, we have some, it's funny you said that because even at the whiskey show, there was a few people that never seen us before that I invited down, through my other connections and stuff. And they were like, I couldn't believe it, man. I'm standing next to these kids and the stuff, and they know all your words and all your stuff. And I'm going, well, yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for over 30 years. And, now with all this, now with all the social media and, you got, a few people here and a few people there in every state and this, whatever. And, you spread the YouTubes and you spread the Facebooks and you spread this. And all of a sudden you got 5 more and 10 more. And those people are showing up at the shows and loving it.
Right.
So, but yeah.
No,
Yeah.
That's actually something that it seemed like you guys really weren't too big on until late was like social media. Like now it's like you guys are social media monsters, like posting constantly on Facebook and all. It's like you woke the sleeping giant all of a sudden.
Well, I don't think there was. I mean, of course now it's bigger than ever, but I don't think there was. If you want to go back years ago, if you want to even go back 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about.
Right.
I mean, we weren't going to go crazy and go like, you got to see us in Argentina. It's going to be the great. We kind of waited for the new record. I guess that's the way you put it. I mean, we didn't want to. Right. Is that the best way I could say it? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, sure there was we did what we did, when there was MySpace and this and that, whatever. But now, sure, I mean, I have to admit, during all my, business stuff during the day or this or that or my life, I'm telling people what's up. I mean, it doesn't stop, McDonald's from advertising, 50,000 times a day, to get their fucking Big Mac and fries. Everybody knows they got Big Mac and fries. So if I'm going to tell them that, the video's premiering or it got this many views or this much whatever, and I know it's not hitting the same people. Of course it's hitting the same people, but it's also hitting, the few people that, aren't actually on Facebook and Twitter every day. There actually is some people that, don't go. I mean, we all think everybody's on it every day, but there actually is some people that aren't on it every day. Maybe they might take 2 days off.
It's funny because I'm on there every day, and I have a 20-year-old daughter,
so am I.
and she's not.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, my daughter's like the exact opposite. She'll go on once a week and check her pet videos, and then she's good. She's done.
Right. Gotcha. But I like reading anyway, so I'm a sports fanatic. So Jesus Christ, it's like I have my 4 or 5 things and I'm on. I could sit there and enjoy, whether it's CNN, ESPN, Facebook, something else and something else. So why not check it out? I want to know what the bands are doing. I want to know who's touring. I want to know, this and that. And I want people to know just as much what we're doing. I mean, they ask us. That's the thing. They ask us. When's this going to be available? When's this going to be available? When, even the thing a couple days ago that I posted behind the scenes, people were asking me. They were like, do you guys have any stuff? And I actually, within like a day or two, I was like calling everybody that was at the shoot going like, do you have pictures from behind the scenes, this and that? I didn't take any. So like the makeup artists and the girlfriends and wives and all that are sending me stuff. So that's what they ask for. And now I got people asking, do you have any video of behind the scenes? Because you only posted pictures. So it's a never ending thing, and it's awesome. It's awesome. It's cool that I could, wake up at 4 a.m. and there's people on there going like, oh yeah, man, I'd love to get, a few CDs. And if you happen to have Leather Boys, that would be great. And do you have the Volt record? That would be cool too. Cause so that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
now, which would you prefer? Like, would you prefer the days of being on Sunset Strip flyering the like crazy, or posting on social media?
Well, you have those. Well, I was a young buck back then. So now, don't get me wrong. If I didn't have the responsibilities as I do right now, if I didn't have those. When I was doing that, I was a young kid. I was 18 to 20 and stuff like that. So, I was probably living for free. I was probably not, maybe working. I was not this and that. So I had all the time in the world. No stress, no nothing, whatever. But I know what you're saying. I'm just giving a little story to it. Sometimes I got to tell you, honestly, though, and I almost lost my mind a few weeks ago where I was saying to myself, there was a couple big shows out here, and even at our stature and stuff like that, I was saying to myself, should I go to that show with somebody and go in and put flyers around and stuff like that for the whiskey show? Because it was like I was actually going to do that, but I was like, but the reason I didn't was like, I was like, shit, I got to work that night. I DJ. I DJ as well, so I admit that, which is cool. DJ's cool. It makes good money and stuff like that. But no, I mean, those times were great. Those times were great. It was also, you're flying in places where you're not supposed to be flying. You're sticking things on walls and stuff where you're not supposed to. Sometimes the city would call the following day and go, excuse me, if you guys don't get those flyers down from that school, or one time actually the country club, the Reseda Country Club, got a hold of our manager and said, if that stuff isn't down, but you're never playing here again. So, but the glory of the glory of walking down Sunset Strip, after we get out of Chris's van, a little buzz, and leaving the studio and stuff like that. No, it was all awesome. It was all great. It was all great then. We're a little older now, and sure, yes, it's nice to do. I mean, I wish we had more people. I wish I had it, every day I could walk into my little office here and have 10 people lined up and go, okay, now you're going to hit all those Instagrams, you're going to hit all those Twitters, you're going to hit all this, that, and you're going to hit all that. And by this time, I want all those people to, write back and say they're going, and, but a lot of this stuff, we do ourselves. I mean, you should have seen me, putting together the VIP packages for the whiskey show. Jesus Christ, it's awesome to do, but good Lord, I almost lost my mind. Up until an hour before the show, people were still like messaging, like, "Do you still have VIP? Do you still have VIP?" I'm like doing my makeup, warming up my vocals. So, but it is what it is. It's great. It's the hustle.
It's funny too, because I really don't think like the new generation like really even understands like the world of flyering, because Like I've promoted a few shows out here in this area, in the Philly area, over this past year. So I'd be going to concerts and stuff, and just doing that, just going and putting out flyers and just walking up and down the line as people are standing in line to get in. And I'm trying to hand them flyers, and they look at me like I have three heads. I'm like, dude, it's a flyer. It's free. Take it. Read it. Come to the show. And they just look at you like you're nuts. They're like, what do you mean? Like, I'm like, take the freaking flyer.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, as we would know, people with their what's that word I'm looking for? They would actually have to take it. They would actually have to look at it. They would actually have to figure out where to put it and all that stuff instead of, at 4 a.m. when they get home and they lie on their bed and they get out their tablet and they look and go, oh, there's a show. Yeah. So yeah, I get it. But back then, on the Sunset Strip, the girls and the stuff, they would love to have a flyer and love to take it home and this and that and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, sure, I got you.
So now, how's it been? With Frontiers now? I mean, because this is you guys are doing videos again, and it's a whole big kind of machine almost, which really haven't had the luxury of, shall we say, in years to do.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, one, we want to thank Frontiers, and no, it's awesome. I mean, the list goes on of what bands they have had or do have, so that's awesome. Right. I mean, to be on a label with that's putting out a White Snake record or a Warrant record or a Sebastian Bach or years ago, or actually last year, Night Ranger and what Journey. Right. They did one Journey. They're just they're a pretty good machine right now. I mean, and it's I would say they're giving the opportunity to the bands to do it, and if your product is great and you're this and that whatever, they'll ride with it and stuff. But it's awesome. I mean, they know what they're doing with their promotion and their distribution and getting the stuff out here. But once again, it's up to us as the band to do our thing,
Right.
But it's great. It's great. What can I say?
No,
it's awesome.
You guys, going back to that Delaware show, you had Ben Graves on drums, and now he's not no more. What happened there?
He actually had a health issue.
Oh wow.
He had and has a health issue. Can't really talk about it. It's kind of a personal thing, but all I could say is he hasn't played since, and he's dealing right now with a health issue. So at the moment, we wish him the best, and it happened actually at one of our shows when we were playing in Colorado. He had an issue on stage, and he's dealing with it, and we hope him the best. But yeah. So he gave us, of course, the go ahead to, of course, go ahead, guys, and do what you got to do and all that stuff. But right. So that was that. He's got some health issues, and we wish him the best.
Now, how about one thing too? Like I always wondered, and it kind of pissed me off. Like going back to the days of the first album again. Mm-hmm. The song and video, I Want to Be With You. Like I remember, like for some reason, like I never saw it until like the years of YouTube. And I remember waiting. I kept saying to myself, "This is going to break them. This is going to break them. This is going to put them over the top." And it just never happened.
Let's get something straight here. I mean, Set the Night on Fire did not get the plan for Pretty Boy Floyd was not to get limited airplay and limited MTV play. I mean, we're an image band, we're a big rock anthem band, and everybody. It doesn't take a genius to figure out to break a band. You have to at least get the airplay. Well, let's just stick to video play.
Right.
As some of the other bands, whether it's a Bon Jovi or a Def Leppard, or let's just take Poison or Warrant or bands like that, or LA Guns or Faster Pussycat. Now, of course, if we would have got, of course, you're never guaranteed that it's going to make it work. But if we would have got the chance we feel that, it would have exploded.
Yeah.
I mean, there was so many people that, when you're on the Sunset Strip and you just followed those bands, like I just said, Warrant, Faster Pussycat, Guns N' Roses, all that stuff, and people are just like, oh my God, these guys are going to be the next Motley Crue, the next Poison. The label has got to be, it's very simple. I mean, in my world, it's very simple. I mean, we took a chance with MCA. They never really broke an act like us. Their
Right.
biggest band was like a Night Ranger or a Tom Petty, and they didn't know what they were doing. It's a fact. They knew how to write a check. They knew how to go, what, director do you guys want? They were able to go, do what you want to do, but they didn't know how to make the machine work. They didn't, it's very simple. I'll use my sports thing again. It's like having an incredible quarterback, but a terrible offensive line. It's just going to get killed. So we gave them a great record and a great live show and great songs and all that kind of stuff. And they didn't, use the machine they didn't know how to do it. I mean, you got to get it on the good rock. You got to get it on. I mean, these aren't excuses. This is a fact. I mean, there's many bands that you could probably do an interview with, and you could probably get out a stat sheet and go, well, you guys were on 150 ARO, you know what I'm trying to say, rock stations. It just didn't take off. You look at ours and you could be like, well, you weren't on this one. You were on Z-Rock and this and that. So it's the same with MTV. I mean, you can't put us at, on Headbangers Ball at 2:30 in the morning, 2.5 hours into it. I mean, we sold a couple 100,000 records, and it's went on to sell more. But you got to be seen. I mean, hello, So if you thought they messed up on Set the Night on Fire, they really blew it on I Want to Be With You, because because that one did even that one got like on Headbangers Ball maybe once or twice, and on VH1. The bottom line is that the label screwed it all up. And anybody that wants to ask me questions, anybody that's a musician or that really knows the business knows that MCA, we took a chance with them. I mean, they had all the money in the world. That they wanted to do it. We sat with them and they said, we want to make you the Motley Crue, the Poison, this and that. And the only reason I'm saying those bands is because, of course, off the strip, there was, I'm meaning that because we were the most, we had that kind of look and that kind of sound and this and that. I don't want to say they wanted us to be the next Guns N' Roses. Our songs weren't like that. I'm just giving the small comparison. Yes, they wanted us to be the huge or huger than, whatever. And they just didn't know what they were doing. I mean, if you were in some of those meetings, I saw some of their heads spin around, when asking them questions about okay, so what? So we're going to get on at this time and we'll get on Dial MTV and we'll this and that. And it was just incredible. We knew, by the time of I Want to Be With You, we were just like, oh my God. I mean, we let the one mistake of Set the Night on Fire. Set the Night on Fire should have set the groundwork almost of like, okay, these guys are rolling now. Okay, now they got an opening spot for a big band. This and that. I Want to Be With You was supposed to kick it into like overdrive, and then say like a 48 Hours or even back into the Wild Angels or a Leather Boys was supposed to make it into a monster. But, walking through the aisles of MCA and listening to their excuses and stuff like that, it was welcome to the world of business, at 23 years old. Not that we were stupid. It's just that we that type of music and stuff like that. I mean, even Poison, they didn't sign the greatest deal. They might have had better people, through their Enigma Capital deal and stuff, but they didn't sign a huge deal, and even their first single, what was it? Cry Tough. Didn't do that great, and they had to fight to get the second one, and all of a sudden, boom. But they just, as you would say, yes. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was sitting there. I was in disbelief. And I'm a kid, and I'm going like, and I'm sitting there watching these bands that I knew were never going to do anything, that we never hear from in our world, And I'm going, oh my God. So it's very simple. You know, it's like I always tell people, if I can name 5 bands that were bigger than us, that were bigger than them now, if we would have got the opportunity that they got, just the airplay and the video play, we're not asking for the world. We're not saying put us on a Bon Jovi tour and give us, you know, this and that. Just get us out there and let the fans decide.
Right.
But we didn't get that chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, you had to find it. You had to you had to find a Metal Edge magazine, 4 months after I Want to Be With You and go, oh, they did a video? Oh, it's behind the scenes. Oh, this is nice.
As a matter of fact, there was they used to put out what the hell was that thing? I think it was called Hard and Heavy. Maybe it was like a VHS magazine that was
we're on
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember I bought that thinking I'm going to see the video finally, and I was like, shit, it's only clips.
Yeah, an interview and some clips and stuff like that. Hey, man, Jesus, like I said, it was supposed to be like set the night on fire, set the bass, I Want to Be With You, blow it up. It was supposed to be 48 hours, extra blow it up. And then it was supposed to be like Leather Boys for the kill, and then maybe one more just to throw in, after we sold 10 million records.
It sounds so simple when you put it that way, doesn't it?
Well, not simple, just like that was our kind of plan, But when you're dealing with a big machine of the world of business and stuff like that, and I guess as anyone would say, like, if you want to do things right, even in any business, like, well, do it yourself, run your own business, and then at least when you make the mistake, you could blame yourself. But I still have my list of people that I can name their names right now and go like, oh God, that person. Oh God, that person. I remember I'll just real quick. I remember walking into the office one time with this guy that was supposed to get it was our radio guy, and he was supposed to get like, I Want to Be With You on like these stations or so, and he kept talking about like Tom Petty like song or something, and I was saying to myself, is he going to talk about us soon, or what the hell's going? It was just like, it was incredible. It was incredible. Yeah. So what can you do? Life goes on.
Right. Yeah, and you kept it going on. I mean, you kept waving that flag pretty hard, man, for the last 30 years. Like, you never gave up on that Pretty Boy.
Yeah, and and now the flag is bigger than ever, and we're getting, like I said, we're getting great. I don't, critics are critics, and that's lovely. But for fans to say that we've had fans say that this record is better than Leather Boys. So. I don't need to hear that, but I'm just saying they think it's incredible, and people really love it. They love the fun and the big sound, and they love that we're doing exactly what we do best.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, I'm excited. It's finally good to hear like a full length album, and it's got that. It does have that Leather Boys feel. It's got that the anthem type style songs again. It's good to hear you guys back, man.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I love it. I mean, I crank it up in my car, and I'm the choruses and the great verses and guitar ripping in there and drums, and I dig it. I'm totally happy with it, and so far so good. It's gotten great responses, and we're going to do the same thing. I mean, we're going to do. We will do actually at least 4 videos. We're already planning on. Yeah, we are. So that's 100%. There's nothing that could stop us. We would do them ourselves if we had to. So we know that people want to see the videos. We know the action of the social media. Once again, there are some of the bigger bands. Not the bigger. I'm not talking about Metallica and Guns N' Roses. I'm talking about the bands that were bigger than us, that they might put out one video to, introduce the record and then no more videos. But no,
right.
we're gonna. I don't know if that means they don't have 4 or 5 greater songs. I don't know if that means if they can't top the hits that they had back in the day. But we feel that but we feel that there's some great stuff on there, and at least, the response has already been, and I want to do it. We're putting out,
right.
like I said, we're putting out 4 or 5 videos. That's a fact. Next
awesome.
one we're going to be recording in January. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, like I think it's. I mean, I don't know. This is me the outside looking in, but and I've said this to quite a few bands that I've interviewed, where I think it's kind of like a no-brainer in this day and age to do these videos because, I mean, let's face it, you can do it a lot cheaper nowadays than back in the day, and
Sure.
And YouTube is, I think, the key to everything right now is them videos on YouTube because it's so easy to get them out there. You don't have to wait for MTV to play it or hope to play it. I mean, you can just keep pumping it out there through social media. And when I hear, like I talked to, it was Steve Whiteman from Kicks a couple of years ago, and I was talking about that, and he was like, I don't think it's really worth it. And my head really wanted to implode. I'm like, what are you saying? Like, no, dude, no. It's very important.
Right. Well, I do love Kicks. I've always liked them. And,
yeah, me too.
All I could say maybe on a business standpoint is that, they get paid way more than we do for shows. Maybe they're cool with that, and that's fine. And maybe they're saying, like, what's another video or so going to do? I mean, everybody's different, but
right.
But how can it not help? Sure.
Sure.
But everyone's different though. But then again, like you said, like I just said, there's many bands out there that are probably going like, hey man, we're cool with, we make great money touring, we make great money merchandise, man. I ain't gonna do all that social media stuff, and we ain't gonna spend 2 days making a video. But for us, we're still, fighting the good fight to get to the top of wherever the top is for us.
Right.
We're not saying the top, but yeah. Right.
I think just by the fact that you saying that, you're going to do 4 or 5 videos, and with the new album, it almost it sounded too like it's kind of like reinvigorated the whole world of Pretty Boy Floyd and the music business for you too. Oh
yeah. I mean, we have the opportunity. We're on a great label, and the record's great. So we're going to take every opportunity we can. We're smart enough to do that now. Like I said, me and Chris's brains are together, and we have every opportunity to do it. There's many people that have saw us at shows and festivals and stuff like that. They know what we have to offer. They know what kind of live band we are. Now they know what kind of band we are with the new record, and why not? It's awesome. We're going to give people we're going to do it exactly the way we wanted to do it. We're going to shove our faces down everybody's throats for the next couple of years and get it out there, and the people that love it, great. The people that don't, hey, freedom of speech, you're all good.
Right.
Go on to the next one. But yeah, definitely 4 or 5 videos, definitely tons of social media, and hopefully a lot of great shows.
Nice.
A lot of great shows. And then after all that, we'll get ready for the next record.
See, now that sounds very, very exciting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, we ain't stopping.
So what's the next video? Do you guys know which one you're doing next, or?
The best I can say is that we did like a little survey online. If you saw this, that people would like to hear the ballad next.
Nice.
We got we kind of let the fans do that. We did it for like a week or like 3-4 days. I think it was 3-4 days, and we got enough votes or so that it's probably going to be the ballad. I mean, we only did 1 ballad on the record, so I love the ballad. So I think we're going to rock the ballad next, and then we do like 3 or 4 rockers after that.
Now, what does the opening intro to the album SATA? What does that stand for?
That you would actually have to ask Chris. He's got some subliminal meaning to that in his brain.
Shout at the asshole.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I guess I should have that more prepared the next time I do an interview. Yeah. One time he said, like, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to this and that. I think some of the times I just go, like, do whatever you want. And that was so I wish I had a greater answer. He has an answer, but I don't.
Too funny. So for next time, we'll have to figure out that answer.
Yes, for next time we will start with the SATA. Yes, we will.
Cool. All right. So where should we send everybody to actually get the album, buy it, and where it's most beneficial for you guys?
Actually, at the very moment, it would be going to my page. It would be actually my Facebook page.
Well, there you go. That's
where the best place at the moment is. We're redoing our website. I know that. Through me is the best way right now. It actually sold out of like the first pressing of. Well, you said what will benefit us the most, so let's just so I don't need to go. I don't need to go round and round. Then get a hold of me, Steve Summers on Facebook.
Steve Summers,
you'll get it. Yes, you will get I woke up last night to like some more orders, and I can get the thing through you, and it can be signed, a vinyl and a CD. And you sure can. Here's how you purchase it. Okay, great. I'll pack it tomorrow. Yeah. So I would say through me. Yes. Find Steve Summers on Facebook. You'll get your CD signed, your vinyl signed. You'll get all the good stuff.
That's awesome. That's on vinyl too. Very excited about that.
Oh yeah, that's totally cool.
Yeah. Cool. And you guys are doing a listening party? What's that? December 22nd at the Rainbow?
Yeah. We did the record release party. We couldn't get everything into that one show, and then the Rainbow asked us, because they were doing their Christmas party with bands and stuff like that, and they asked us if we want to be special guests to do a listening party there. So we're going to play the record, and we're going to hang out with the bands and take pictures and have dinner and drinks with them, and have a great night. And yes, I will be selling CDs and T-shirts. Yeah, and all that stuff.
You know, it's funny because going back to that show in Delaware you guys did, like you had the full spread of merch, and LA Guns had nothing. And I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Well, yeah, once again, like I said with that, and once again, like I said, I love all those bands. Any bands that I talked about, I love them. We're just talking business. If you ask me a question, I'm going to give you my answer. So,
sure.
If you ask me why a certain band only did one video, I might have an answer to like, well, maybe they get paid 5 times more than we do, or 10 times, and they don't want to. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they're happy with where they are. I mean, if I was getting $10,000-$15,000 a show, and I'm doing 50 shows in 2 months, I might go to you, video. When are we going to fit that in?
Right.
But no, merchandise. We've always been a band, like a Kiss or something like that. We always wanted to have just a ton of stuff, and it's always been like that for the past years. We could play with the big, the bigger bands and stuff like that, and we'll always make sure we have 5 or 6 different shirts, 10 or 12 glossies. We'll try to have as many CDs and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. I mean, it's fun. I mean, I still finish a show and I don't even go right backstage. I just go right to the merch booth because, I'm not going to, not just to sell the stuff, but to meet the people. I wish back in the day when, some of my favorite bands, if I could have seen a show and known I could have walked over and, met Stephen Pearcy or, David Lee Roth right after they played, that would have been awesome. So yeah. I know they love it, and I know they're definitely appreciative of it. And so, yeah, tons of merch.
Awesome. Cool. Well, dude, this has been great talking to you. Finally, it's been a while. I've been waiting.
Awesome.
You've been on the radar for years. So
cool. Are we friends on book and stuff like that, or do we don't even?
No.
Okay.
You know what? You never accepted the request. So there you go.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, let's not say I never accepted. Well, okay, we could use that word, but there's you know what I do every day? I go down and I delete people that I accepted, like when Facebook first came out, and I'm like, these people aren't even fans. I just accepted them for whatever. And then I add people that, like, I see, made a comment or a like on something of ours. So I'll be doing some deleting today, and then I will be accepting your request now that I know who the hell you are.
How about that? Yeah. I'm seeing, and we actually talked at Delaware when you were there, and I talked to you about getting on the show. So it only took a year and a few months to make it happen, but we made it happen.
Yeah, hey, what the hell, shit. Like I said, my Rams stunk last year, and now we're doing good. Some things take time,
Hey, man, speaking of the Rams, you guys freaking you possibly killed our Eagle dreams the other day with Carson going down. I wanted like freaking like it's a nice and a heart over here.
Yeah, that was terrible. I hate to see anybody get injured. Yeah, sorry about that. That was I mean, at least it wasn't like a bad play or like a player, a penalty, going in for a late hit or something. I mean, it was a hit, and it's terrible that he got injured. Yeah, that's horrible.
I'll tell you what, when that happened, like it was one of them hits like you heard. It was funny because my wife, she wasn't even really paying attention. She's like, "Ooh, what was that?" And I'm like, "Ooh," and he got up and throws the next pass for a touchdown. You're like, "Okay, yeah, everything's cool."
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well, hopefully, Nick. What's it? Nick Foles. Hopefully he can.
Nick Foles, yeah.
Yeah. We had him as a Ram for a couple days here and there, a couple years back. I was hoping he would do better than he did. But once again, we were a terrible team, so I don't know. You guys are a better team than the Rams were years ago, so maybe he could pull some magic.
We'll see. They're saying so. I'm fingers crossed. I like the whole year. I haven't talked about the Eagles all year. Like I just don't want to like jinx it, or I've been so scared to say anything, and we still get the jinx. So it's like, what's the point?
And then that happens. I know that's horrible. Right. All right, awesome, man.
Dude, thanks again, man. And if I could just get you to cut an ID before you go, this is Steve Summers of Pretty Boy Floyd, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
Sure. Hey, everybody, this is Steve Summers from the band Pretty Boy Floyd, and you are listening to Totally Driven Radio.
Awesome. Thanks so much,
That's
Steve,
cool.
Man. Take care, and talk to you soon. Good luck with everything.
Hey, and you will get that exception request today, buddy. I will not waste any time. Yeah.
Awesome. You're the man.
Buddy. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
You got it, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.